Our lesson of reflection today is on two different kinds of peace that we may have in our lives. Happiness and suffering can be divided into two main categories, mental and physical. Of the two, it's the mind that exerts the greatest influence over us. Mental health can affect both mind and body. So mental happiness affects and improves physical health. Mental suffering causes physical health to deteriorate beyond just the fact of the individual not caring for one's self, one's appearance, and one's general aspect. The physical health deteriorates because the person's mental aspect, their view of the world and of themselves, is poor. A negative mind state can kill, and not via depression and suicide, but by causing the heart to stop because of the will to live has ceased. This is also apparent when one partner of a long-time couple dies and the other partner dies soon thereafter. I will draw your attention to remind you of Barbara and George H.W. Bush. They were married for 74 years. When she died, it was just 2 weeks shy of 75 years, but they had been together for 76 years. She died. 9 months later, he died. There is an actual medical diagnosis of death of the broken heart, which is becoming a more common diagnosis as the elderly both live together to an old age. It used to be that the men died much younger and the women lived on alone. But now the men are living into their 70s and the women die soon after their partner. A broken heart diagnosis used to be less than 1 in 10,000. In 2018, the last year, data was available. The broken heart diagnosis in the state of Minnesota was 1 in 1,250. In Wisconsin, it was 1 in 1,110. In Iowa, it was 1 in 810. North Dakota, it was 1 out of 700. And in South Dakota, it was 1 out of 507. That is a great number of people to die of a broken heart. And that is because the one they love most in the world has left them behind. And they have no interest in living alone. The mind registers everything that happens to us physically. So for so long as you are healthy, and so long as you have no debilitating long-term conditions, focus on mental peace. For those with physical conditions, meditate and use a focusing prayer to disconnect from your pain and your symptoms for at least 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour evening each day. This will bring you a sense of control in your life and bring you mental peace. World peace can only be based on inner peace of each person. If we ask what destroys our inner peace, it is not weapons, it is not external threats, it is not politics, it is not the opioid epidemic, it is not the coronavirus, it is our own inner flaws. It is anger, and anger's exponent, hatred. This is one of the reasons why love and compassion are important, because they strengthen us against anger, make us able to not go down that path of rage and hatred, and they strengthen us as a community together, so that if one starts to stray like a little lamb, the rest of the sheep can gather round and say, "Come back, little sheep. The rest of us are strong for you. We will gather around you with love so that your anger cannot sustain." Those sheep, as a group, are very, very strong. But one little lamb alone cannot sustain. So when you think of love and compassion, think of that as strength, and think of it as the source of hope for all people.